and $216.
Council, I do want to add one other thing on one of the items that we paid for last year for the employees that we're not recommending not to pay for this year is our gap insurance. But we are asking, which is similar as far as premium, to pay the long-term disability proposal. That you'll find on page 27. And the reason we're proposing that is to help folks that maybe will have, the premiums aren't bad as far as the cost. We're saying that we can absorb the cost, and it does provide some sort of an incentive or some help with people that may become disabled for long term. We are asking that the employees, if they're interested, pay for the short-term disability if that's what they choose to do. Is there any questions? Kara, is there anything else you'd like to highlight on this?
I didn't hear the beginning, so you went over the medical going to United Healthcare.
Yes.
Do you want me to kind of highlight from your recommendations? Sorry, I just missed out on the very beginning of your presentation.
Yes, you can highlight some stuff.
Okay, so what we did is we went out to market this year, and what I was asked to see if we could find a better plan design for the city to offer to their employees and still keep the HSA. And so what we did is when we went to market, United Healthcare provided a proposal for two similar plans to what the city currently has, but enhancing the medical coverage. And so we were able to get the renewal down from Blue Cross Blue Shield. Initially it was 18.3% down to a 10%, but then making some plan changes and moving to these UHC EPO plans, saving the city around $61,000 and with an overall 4.9% increase. So the buy-up plan is a PPO plan that a lot of the participants of the city like to enroll in, and so we were able to provide a lower deductible and copays, and then offer children's copay at a $0 up to age of 19, virtual visits with a $0 copay. So we had some enhancements with the pricing very similar to what Blue Cross Blue Shield was offering and what your current benefits are.
Can you give us the of these carriers that you're recommending? Can you give us their ratings?
The ratings? Oh, UHC would be, I would consider them an A+ carrier. From like
They are an A+.
Uh-huh.
Who is that?
UHC.
Oh, United?
United Healthcare.
Oh, this is Javier. He's on the line as well.
Hi.
Yes, and
Yeah, the rating for United Healthcare is an A+ rating, both financially and with their reserves and held and all that information. It's one of the largest companies in the country, if not the largest company.
okay. All right, council, do y'all have any questions?
I have a question there.
Councilwoman Rodriguez?
Did anything, I know we talked about that, the deductibles and the co-pays for children, all went down compared to the last insurance that the city provided. Is there anything that is gonna go up, that the employees, that is gonna go up since, from their last insurance, that they're gonna see something go up? Does that make sense?
They're looking at the same virtual, they're looking at the same urgent care. Their the ER copay's gone down. The only thing that's slightly gone up is their out-of-pocket went up on the individual by $400, but then went down $2,000 on the family. So the total out-of-pocket exposure to those with those kind of family coverage will have less than they currently have right now.
So
The
they're
co-pays went down to what they currently have in place. It's $45 for PCP and $90 for a specialist. Moving to UHC is a $30 PCP and a possible $30 specialist if they're in the preferred network for specialists. Otherwise, it'll be $60. So there is a decrease in the spend on their co-pays. So there's some kind of an intermittent balance between the two with a $400 increase to the out-of-pocket. But they're keeping the same, I guess proposing the same payroll deduction, the $40 that's current in place. So no change to that disruption in what their per paycheck is.
And so they're not losing any kind of benefits that the last insurance covered?
They're not losing them. They're gonna have a national network just like they do with Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Okay, so
So
the
they
other
will
question,
then-
if they don't have family and it's just one person, their out-of-pocket cost goes up 400, so they don't see the cover with the deductible of the children.
Yes, it goes up for 100, but then but everything else in the plan design goes down.
Federico, do you know that if we have majority of people with families on our city insurance, or we mostly have individuals?
Mostly individuals. Yeah, it's mostly individuals. But I think on that end, councilperson, what most people, at least from what I understand, is the co-pays is what they were looking at and having to pay co-pays that
Yeah.
they were paying. So I think that overall is one of the benefits, and I think that was for us was a win, because I know that and the the cost of medication. I think
Okay.
there were some questions on, and I think that benefit is also.
Okay, and the only reason I ask is because, we are living in a pandemic and people are going to the doctor more frequently, and the cost being lower for a family versus somebody that's single, so that was my question.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Councilman Hernandez?
Mr. Reyes, how does this fit within the 20% that we?
Actually, again, it was a cost savings for us. It was a cost savings from a budget standpoint. We didn't make the change in the budget. There's not a change in there. But on the other end, we are adding employees to the plan. We're gonna add, with the council's approval, these added positions. So we should see, I'm asking on that end that we keep that in the budget. Again, not necessarily, because we're gonna use it for insurance, but I am asking that the council consider that.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions?
I don't have any, so if there's no other questions, I would like to make a motion to go ahead and consider authorizing the city manager to award and enter into an executive agreement with United Healthcare and Mutual of Omaha for medical, dental, vision, and any insurance benefit for the 2021-2022 fiscal year.
Okay, we have a motion on the table by
Second.
Councilwoman Rodriguez. We have a second by Councilwoman Hernandez. Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote. All in
Aye.
favor?
Aye.
I need a motion.
Right, motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Kara,
Okay.
and thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Have a good
Thank
evening.
you.
Okay, now we're gonna go to item D, discussion regarding Chavano Group Phase One development, and I'm gonna introduce to you Mr. Joseph Cooper. And interesting, James, Councilman Leal, gonna pinpoint you, a couple of meetings ago, you had asked us, what can we do to raise revenue? What is it that we can do to help generate more funds for the city? And back in 2012, correct me if I'm wrong, Councilwoman Rodriguez and others, when she was mayor, established a TERS in our community, which is TERS is a valuable tool to help development that's beneficial to the developer, beneficial to the city, to develop lands inside this zone and build housing and commercial products. So, hats off to the council years ago in developing this, and it's a partnership with the county. And so, Mr. Cooper has a tract of land that's inside this TERS that he is wanting to develop, and he's gonna talk to us about that. And so I'm excited about this opportunity. Full disclosure, back in the years I used to be Mr. Cooper's banker a long time ago. Haven't had a banking relationship with him in a long time, but am familiar with him, and so wanted you guys to be aware of that. You have a packet from him, and I'm gonna turn the floor over to him. Welcome, Mr. Cooper.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And I hope you know our relationship is not because of my credit rating, hopefully. That'll be good.
No comment.
No, yeah, thanks, Mr. Mayor. It's great to be back. I think the last time I was here was quite some time ago. It was good to see some friendly faces. We purchased the property back about 10 years ago. before the TERS was in place. There was a good opportunity there. We were doing some work over in Atascosa County, doing some development. And, you know, now to me, the time's right to move forward on this. And I've been in discussions with Mr. Reyes and Mayor Briscoe for probably the last 6 months, talking about what we want to do. It's a very large piece of property. If you see on the map, it's 80 acres, which is pretty much all in the city. Some of it is in the county right now, but we certainly plan to pull that into the city because it is part of the ETJ. You know, to me, the timing's right, the environment's right, and the reason I took this advantage to come here and discuss it with you and introduce myself again was, you know, it's a big project and it's gonna take a lot of collaboration to get going. And I'm not talking about, you know, the city putting money in or anything like that, but the city does own some property around it, so we've had some discussions about making sure that the infrastructure that we're putting in serves for the future and things like that. So it's not sort of a normal case where I would go in and look at this piece of property and say, okay, you know, show me everything, let's go do it. There is gonna have to be a lot of working together and communication, but not, you know, not necessarily on the financial side. We certainly are gonna look at participating in the TERS for future growth because, you know, quite honestly, making sure we can get this thing financed is a big part of it, but I don't see a problem really getting that done. I've given you all a map, which might give you some indication where the piece of property is. If you look on the map here, this road where the little cutout is, that's Vaughn Road. Atoll dead ends right into the middle of the property, and I believe Pena's on the southern border of the property. It's 80 acres, it's pretty much all flat. We actually did initial engineering, and I think that that's what's in your packet right now. We did initial engineering back in 2012 on it, and the environment wasn't as conducive as it is now to move forward. But I think you can look at it and see that it's kind of similar in what we would be doing. Obviously, I'm gonna have more discussions with your city manager to make sure it's the right kind of housing, the right size, the right densities, all those sorts of things as we look forward to it. So I really appreciate the opportunity to come here and introduce myself, say hi again to some good friendly faces, and certainly answer any questions you may have at this point on it. So.
I just wanted to make a comment, Mayor, if I can.
Sure.
So when we put that together, you know, we put that to bring in homes to Pearsall, to bring in builders. And so in order for them to bring back, we'd give back. But once everything, you know, builds and the taxpayer pays the money back. But in order for us to grow and see bigger businesses coming, we need to house the people. And I've been in the housing market for 20 years, and that is my profession that I do. And the housing market in Pearsall, Texas alone, it's not where we should be. And a lot of people decline offers in Pearsall because they can't find a place to live.
Right.
So I'm very excited about this. Housing is a really big deal in Pearsall. I've been running an apartment complex here for 15 years, and it's every day. It's nonstop, and there's people that are coming in to apply at jobs here, especially our schools, and they have to decline the offer. And these are certified teachers, and they have to decline the offer because there's no housing. So I really appreciate you being here. I'm really excited to be working with you, and
Well, thank you very much for those kind words. You know, to me, it is a great opportunity, it's a great business opportunity, but there is a mission behind it. And I love the opportunity here in Pearsall for what the city can be if there's housing here. I mean, I've heard from day one about the schools not being able to keep teachers. You know, there's a lot of other industry that's down here, but you know, the fact is there is no housing. So to me, coming in and doing a development of this size is why we need to work together on it to make sure it all works out. And you know, I'm very excited about it as well because I think it really can have a great effect on the community if we all work together and make sure it's the right kind of stuff for the right people.
Anything else, Councilman?
What projects have you developed in the area?
So Indian Crossing over in Jourdanton was my most recent out there, similar to this one. It's over, if you go, I mean, I think the website's still up on IndianCrossing.net. You can look over there. And that's the one that we collaborated on.
I was financing the construction of those homes.
the houses over there are very, between 1,250 and 1,650 square feet. 3-2 to 4-2 homes, attached garages, all masonry. I consider them very nice, normal houses.
I have 2 friends that live there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay. That's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
What was the price range? What did they start at?
Well, back in the day, I left a lot of money on the table apparently, because they're trading really, the homeowners made good money on it. So, I really like to stay under 200,000. So that's kind of my goal. Now, there's a lot of interesting things going on in the construction market, which you're probably all very aware of in terms of commodities and things like that. But the timing's right for this because we're gonna have to put in infrastructure first to get the lots, then start building, and I think things will kind of even out by that time. But that would be my goal, to stay in in that price range.
Do you have a business card you could hand us in case we have?
So I don't have a business card. However, on the back of your map I handed out is all my contact information.
I'd probably say the going rate in Pearsall is $800 to $1,500. And if you're looking at a $200,000 home, you're looking at, depending on what your bank can offer you, you're looking at anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000. And that is what some people are paying already.
Right.
And they're renting.
Which is why, for me, it's a good time to do it, because I think that, with what interest rates are right now, not only on, what I would be paying, but what the homeowners would be paying, it's a great opportunity and good time. So.
And it is what, council, we've had some other things to look at, and what's exciting, not necessarily about what Joseph is doing, but this protocol is the right way to bring in a development. We've had some folks that come in and want us to come and put a water line and roads and so on and so forth, but this is the correct way for this to be done, and so I'm excited for us, and in our desire to grow the community. Housing is critical, as we've all stated. So anyway, Joseph, thank you very much for coming, and you guys will be seeing and hearing more from him. And guys, our tours, Davina, correct me if I'm wrong, but we've probably got 600 or 700 acres, maybe more,
Yes.
both commercial and residential. So I'm excited, once we get this started, I think others will see and we can bring other development to our community. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor.
Appreciate that. You bet. Okay, next we're moving on to item E, discuss and consider awarding the contract for disposal of brush at the city transfer station to KJ Oilfield Services LLC in the amount not to exceed $275,000, and authorize the city manager, city attorney to negotiate a contract for this service. This is an action item. I'm gonna turn the floor over to Mr. Reyes.
Yes, Mayor and Council, in your packet, I'll be brief. We've discussed this, but we went out for proposals, request for proposals for this project, again, to award or get somebody to move, dispose of the brush we have at the transfer station. In your packet, you have all the proposals that came in, which included their dollar amounts. I think we have 3 total, should have in your packet. And looking at all the proposals and the scoring that was done, we're recommending KJ Oilfield Services for this project in an amount not to exceed $275,000. Our hope is to bring you back a contract. Actually, I put there's still revisions, and Bobby, our city attorney, will help us with the revisions to the contract, but you should have a contract there. It's right now it's not complete, but in order for us to move forward, we hope to get that to the proposer sometime this week. And he's provided us all the information we need that we've asked for, and he's been really receptive to give us the information that we requested. So there's not any other questions.
Yeah, council, do you have any questions? I'm gonna allow Mr. Montes a chance to speak. If you have any questions directly, I was able to meet with Fred while we meeting with him and the others, so.
I have a question, Mayor. Fred, is this your recommendation?
Yes, this is the staff recommendation. Yes, repeat. Yes.
Is there any questions?
I just have a comment, Mayor.
Fire
If you're
away.
done, James.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I'm also excited to get this done, because we need to get this on the road, because we have people holding their limbs at home, and there's also a lot of limbs getting thrown on the side of the county roads. So we need to, also, go ahead and get this started, so we can figure out how we're gonna start collecting rush again. So,
And to answer it, I will shoot, but we're gonna address that tonight.
Okay,
We've got
yeah.
the other
Okay.
part of the equation, which we're tardy on exactly. and
yes.
Yes, sir, Councilman.
Mr. Reyes, is this, that you're proposing, have they met all the requirement, everything that you asked them?
Yes, they had a proposal, we had a series of questions for Mr. Morcus and asked him, not just questions, but asked him for certain things to verify that we were good and compliant